a high achiever by reinforcing it on a proper schedule.
All tested and proven here.
What's that?
Tested and proven here.
Oh, yes. Oh, absolutely. Yes. You know what? I have the original outcome-based ed project that we carried out in Korea. It's on my at AmericanDeception.com. It's about 400 pages. It's fascinating. We went into Korea before we dared do it here. And we were going all over the world, actually, destroying your money, folks, out there. We were going out destroying foreign countries' classical education systems before we dared do it to our own. We went to Korea. We went to Thailand. We finally succeeded in getting the Thais to chuck their classical education system. We went into Germany, and we had a hard time with the Germans. You know, I don't know when they finally accepted it, but we did have a hard time. I don't think they didn't accept it right away. So there's nothing new here. PISA, it's the deliberate dumbing down of the world, right? The world. That's why I'm pleading with
exactly.
too.
No, and now, once they get these people dumbed down, I think it'll be easier for them to excise a large portion of them from the planet's living heritage.
Yes.
That nobody will push back.
Beautifully pushed back. That's right. Now, we're talking about Skinner's, I can make a pigeon a high achiever. Your child, is your child a pigeon or a dog? Okay. Now, let me quote the very well-known British novelist, late C.S. Lewis. And, in a few words, this is not, correct completely, but it really gives you the essence of what he said. When training beats education, civilization dies. That's what we're talking about. Don't you love how Lewis could put something in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 words? Huh?
Mm-hmm.
Think about that. That means art, music, everything that makes life wonderful and beautiful is going to die. The thought, the soul dies. The conscience dies. When civilization will die if this goes through. So call. All you have to do, folks, it's so easy on the computer. You just go in, type in your congressman and senator's name, and if you don't know their name, just type in, say you're from Montana.
Yeah, congressman from Montana, and put their city.
And it's going to pop right up in your face, this page, asking you for your name and all, and you have a comment. That's all you have to do. Calling is a good idea, too, and then you can really explain these things to them. Go to my ABCs and get all the documentation. All right, now, if we truly care about our children's upward mobility, I just gave you that quote. Professor Eugene Boyce of Georgia, listen to this. In communist countries, they do not educate for jobs that don't exist. And about our country's continued existence as a representative republic, we must kill reauthorization legislation. Charter schools with unelected boards are all a major part of the reauthorization of education legislation.
Right.
I went through that today. What a bore. But I have to tell you, Jeff, I was shocked. I think out of the 600 pages, probably 300 or more dealt with charter schools. Those are the schools are the same. That's public education, folks. A charter school is the same as public school. The only difference is there's no elected board. And the reason for that is the corporations don't want any interference from elected officials in their agenda to train, not educate. That's the only reason that they have to get rid of the elected board.
Mm-hmm.
No other reason. And they're doing it one by one. They're pulling down. They're taking all the money out of the public school system now and putting it into charter schools. And the public schools, as bad as they are, I wrote the big book, Deliberate Dumbing Down of America, are collapsing. And what you're getting are the charter schools. They're taking all the books out, putting the computers in. These schools are being run by the corporations and no elected boards. And that very important, I think you've seen it, YouTube video that everybody who's listening to me tonight better go. All you have to do is type in Reed Hastings Reed Hastings, the head of Netflix. He talks to this big group, national group of charter school authorizers, et cetera, and he actually he's so happy about the charter schools not having elected boards, and he talks about how not just the schools, but the whole country system, formally elective system, should be run by nonprofits. And he said even in some case profits. And what he says is that they don't have an agenda. That elected officials have an agenda. That is a direct quote from Reed Hastings.
Yeah,
I'll tell you, if you don't believe me, go get that YouTube on Reed Hastings' speech before the charter school group.
Okay,
So anyway.
hold on. I have to take a break. Yep. Running a little bit late.
Okay,
Stand
fine.
by. Be right back. Education, which again gets more money than anything. And the results are getting worse and worse, but they're going right by the plan. Right by the plan.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Are you there?
I'm here.
Okay. I'll say, so we'll just start out with, folks, have you made your phone call? You could have made one even while Jeff was advertising carnivore, I think. Anyway, tomorrow you're going to make the phone calls. You better. Do you care about your children? Okay, let's go on now. So charter schools that I've been talking about with unelected boards are all a major part of it was scary to me, the reauthorization of education legislation, which I read, just went on and on and on, pages and pages and pages and pages. Tax-funded school choice, which could be ultimately, the private schools are looking for it too. They're really yum, 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 is necessary for international education and training. The United States is, I believe, and don't hold me to this because I haven't really checked it completely, but I believe we're the only nation that still has purely untax-funded private education, the kind, you write a check for. All the other countries seem to have tax-funded private education, which really isn't private because, what the government funds, the government controls. UNESCO and OECD are telling our change agent educators and the Congress, your elected officials you're meant to call, right, that private education must be killed. They're not saying that, they're not telling you that, but private education must be tax-funded.
Sure.
Because that's what they can control it, okay? Now, here's the solution. There is a solution. I'm amazed I got through to this point, so I can actually talk off the cuff.
You're doing well.
Right. Solution. Kill the reauthorization of ESEA. Call your elected officials and say, no way ESEA. We know what you're up to. That's why I put this together tonight.
Very
so
simple.
you'll understand why you have to do this. Please, folks, how can you look in your children and grandchildren's eyes?
Well, you're looking at little automaton robots, is what you're looking at, unless you stop this.
It's so awful. So now, what happens is, what's the solution? You say, how can she have a solution? Well, I do. I have a solution. I always call it. One is poison. One is the corporate fascist communist system that the neoconservatives all support, including, by the way, the Birch Society now. They call for Tony Wagner's Finnish education. So that's poison one. Now, poison two is really a difficult way to go. But we can do it. We can do it, but you've got to stop focusing on all the other issues, no matter how important. You have to focus on one issue, and that is you have to pick up the really difficult, not difficult. You have to go on the computer or pick up the phone and call and say, no way, ESEA. Then what do? After we kill this bill, we focus on restoring academic education. We get rid of the United States Department of Ed. You're going to have to do a lot of calling on that one, too, and threatening. And we call for the ending of all District of Columbia federal funding sources, those little offices that they'll count on to continue the evil work, and their stream of dollars to the local level for health, labor, and data collection, part of the lifelong education, which is absolutely going in under the umbrella of unelected councils. And you may say, Charlotte's cuckoo. No, am I? Really? I just read to you from the National Business Alliance. I'm not making that up. Their letterhead in the 90s, right at the top, said kindergarten to age 80 workforce training. How do you like that? So, if you don't like that, you might pick up the phone. Okay. Now, we restore locally elected boards at all levels. Mark Tucker's calling and getting rid of all the school boards, right? We hire teachers trained in liberal arts, not at teacher training institutions, which use only Skinnerian methodology and brainwashing.
Unbelievable.
We hire teachers that have been educated in subject matter, like grammar, right, math skills, history, the old history, foreign languages, literature, beautiful literature, etc. We restore competition, which is going down the tubes. They don't have any more grades.
Competition, right? And accountability. Oh,
yeah, exactly. We restore competition using A, B, C, D, F, the old grading system, which they don't have that anymore. They may have it in pockets, folks. If you live in an affluent area, you're going to wonder what I'm talking about, because you may not have this yet, but you're going to get it. Everybody's going to get it. They piloted it in the inner cities on the poor kids, and now they've refined it for all of us. So we restore kindergarten through 12th grade. We get rid of individualized education. That sounds so good, doesn't it?
Sure.
That's the education. They can monitor your child. It sounds good, but
individualized.
Yep. Individualized education, which used to be just for Title I, special ed. Remember, that's how they got the foot in the door with individualized education.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
And we hold on to true private education that received no tax funding. There is still much talent and many brains in this country. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. There's a group of young people coming through now, and they're brilliant. They really are. They call me a lot. I don't deal with the old-timers because they don't understand what I'm talking about, right? They've been brainwashed, too.
The young people call you. How encouraging. That's great.
Yep. The young people coming through are great. And because, let's give credit to the Internet on this a bit, they have gotten themselves educated pretty much on what's happened. And they know I'm right on this. It's lovely. These are young people. Some are even not out of school yet. I got a letter from a child in Louisiana who was in 6th grade thanking me for my book. And, really, I was amazed. It's all the young people coming to me. Now, we should hold on to what really works for your children and your country. What has a track record? We have a great track record in this country. Don't fall for globalist educators' what works philosophy. That's what they call it, Jeff. Okay. I used to see these books in my office in the Department of Ed called What Works. Finally, I looked, and you know what works? That's dog training. And I looked in there. It's called effective with an E. Effective schools.
I see.
Yes, it works. However, your children are not animals. They have a brain, soul, conscience. All of that has to be destroyed. Don't allow them to be experimented on like animals. Now, the last paragraph, I'm calling on you all. The rest of the world is counting on the United States to take a stand on this. Parents across the world do not want this restructured international education system. How could they? Some may not, they don't know what it is, a lot of them. And you parents may not know either. But I'm telling you what it is. And they are waiting across the seas on our vote this week or next week. They want you to call. Vote may come up any day. Say, no way, ESEA. Get your hands off my children's brains, souls, consciences, and futures. Get your hands off. Return education to what it was, the greatest education system in the world. That's why we had all the